Hey, welcome back. Illustrator, vector graphics, Adobe Illustrator. Hope everybody's doing well. We are up to session 5. Let's get this in studio preview. What does that mean? It means session 1 is going to disappear. So tonight, session 1 disappears. It has been a week. We started on a Wednesday. Then it was a Wednesday, and today's that second Wednesday. So if you don't have your stuff turned in from session 1, make sure it is in before midnight. There's no going back. A student kind of questioned, seeming that there's a lot of stuff. There is. This course is an 8-week course instead of a 16-week course. They call it an accelerated course, in case you guys didn't understand that. So it's like a 16 3-credit course, 16-week 3-credit course, but it's a 8-week 3-credit course. So all the same information is in 8 weeks. So we meet 16 times. We're on the 5th time. Everything is doable. You just have to give yourself time to do it. You just got to budget the time. And then once it's over, it's over. It's over in 8 weeks, So we're cruising through it. We'll get through it. And also, the more you learn, the more you're learning this, the easier things get. I know some of you are like, all we've been doing is making squares and rectangles for everything. But I'm building your muscle memory. So the same rules apply when you start using Illustrator all the time. You're always holding shift. You're always doing, and you have to build muscle memory. Just like playing the piano, just like playing anything, like if you play guitar, or I was laughing myself, hot cross buttons. Like you play recorder I played recorder. What can you play? Hot cross buttons. How come only one song? Well, it's all I ever practiced. I never learned anything more. Well, okay, if you want to learn more, you have to practice. And so repetitive practice, you start to develop more and more and more, and it becomes better. So we can do it. We can get through it. It's a little tough. But like I said, make sure everything from session 1 is in by midnight. It closes forever. And you never see it again. And the other one is I do comment on every piece. I think I said this earlier. You just go in and check your grade and actually don't look at just the grade. Actually click on the assignment and it'll show Blackboard and look at your thing. And I write like, hey, I'd like this, or hopefully a lot of it is wonderful comments and keep moving, or I'd fix this, adjust this. So session 1 closes tonight at midnight, and then it walks through. We'll get through it. Attendance, don't forget to do them. They now have a lock on them. So they lock out the day that they're due. I had to do that per college. So it is more accurate. You can't go back. If you forget to do it, it locks it. So new attempts will not be allowed after the due date. Says it right there. But these are easy. Just the day of class. You start in the morning. I saw somebody did it at like 7:30 this morning. I was like, oh, that's kick ass. Like, just get up, do that quiz, get it done. No, you're done for the day. Great, do it. Which of the following is a raster-based program? Well, I'll tell you it. Adobe Photoshop. We are in Adobe Illustrator, and it's a vector-based. InDesign is vector-based, and so is Figma, but Adobe Photoshop is raster-based. There's a freebie for you. Boom. Oh, I didn't hit it. I just hit continue, whatever. So make sure you get those in and get them in before midnight, that the day that they arrive, we can work on it. You know about the mid-session reviews. Please use those. I check. And if you see that I didn't check it for some reason, email me. Sometimes there's a lag in the system. Sometimes I try to check at least once a day. And then if you're off by a little bit, like, and I've checked and then you just posted and I don't see it and time goes by, please like reach out to me like, hey, can you check it before it gets too late? And I'm like, oh yeah. And I'll drop everything as soon as I can and check it. So, I just, always reach out to me. The more you reach out to me, the better things will be. You can calm things down. It's not as bad as you think. Especially today. Today's design mission, not a single square in the whole design. So just like, know that that's going to be fun. Another thing I talk about design-wise and just creative-wise, give yourself time to work on the projects. Don't wait in the last minute. Here's why. Here's part of the reason why. On Monday, we started that project. I did the lettering expressions, and we have a new one. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, Jesus. And I was like, there's a better solution. I was kind of like, why couldn't I think of something? And it came to me, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. And it's just one of the words. I only did clown. And I'm going to show you. And then I couldn't find it because I didn't save it for some reason. Or I thought I saved it, and maybe I didn't. And then so right like 2 minutes before class, I was like, oh, I'm going to show them what I was going to do. And I started rearranging letters, and I was like, oh my God, there's a second solution right there that I wouldn't have seen if I didn't like kind of like wait on it and go back. So you get more creative with items if you start on them, give yourself a break, and then go back and work on it a little bit more. If you wait until that last minute, you're giving yourself a cutoff of no more creativity past this due date. So try to work a little bit in advance. I'll show you what I'm talking about, and then I'll get moving. So it's not forever a 3-hour class. All right. This is the wrong size. So don't be like, that's the wrong size, Joel, blah, blah, blah. I just opened this because I quickly wanted to show you guys. Then this isn't what I was going to originally show you, but I started rearranging, and I like had the C, and I was like, oh, I moved this, and I moved, it's like, oh my God, it's like the ear, a nose, a mouth, and this is like the clown hair. And I stopped right there. And like, you could, I haven't changed any of the letters, resized them. And I was like, you could turn this, get the hair a little bit crazy, like whatever. But you kind of see it, like it's sort of there, but then like it just came in an instant. The other one, I was like, oh, what if I do this? Which was the one I had thought about. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to get in there and show them. Is like, do this. Here's the clue. What do clowns do? Juggle. So you can do this, and then like this could be, we'll turn this one like, this and that one's like that, and then this could be yellow, and this can be blue. And then it's a semblance of it's juggling. Or maybe, let's make these smaller so we have a size difference. Holding down shift. Remember that shift. We don't want to ruin the letters. And there we go. I wouldn't have, like immediately didn't think of it. Oh, this giant cursor. But it comes a little bit later when you think about it. Your brain thinks when you don't think it's thinking about these things. So every once in a while, like work on it, and don't just be like, I'm done. But like work on it, set it aside, and then maybe come back to it and check it and be like, oh, you know what? I should change this one little thing. Takes a minute. And then you just feel better. But like 2 ideas came out of nowhere because I didn't just go with the first inclination, which was too quick anyway. I was stammering. I was still getting over my brain wasn't working on Monday. Now it is. And I just came up with 2 ideas. So give yourself that time, and amazing things happen. Like that's how it works. Don't save. Okay. We'll get into it. So talked about the attendance, get it in. Like I said, no backtracking anymore. We'll do lettering expressions. We'll do typographic challenges, and then we'll get into design mission. And like I said, not a single square or straight line. Oh, there is sort of a straight line in it, but we're going to do something brand new, far more artistic. It'll be super cool. I love it. And for the people who are here, you get to use the drawing screen, and it'll make your project so much easier. It is a drawing project, painting. So let's get into it. Let's do the lettering expressions. Let's build one out, go through this again. Everybody's doing really good with these. Keep pushing that creativity. Like I said, just like I did right there, build the file, wait a bit, see what happens. 5x7 is the size. We want a bleed of 1/4 inch. Never really have to change that. Just kind of like a standard. That will change when you start getting assignments in the real world, and then you'll really have to look at that, and sometimes it'll be irritating, sometimes it won't be. Then we're going to go to more settings. We always want 3 artboards because we have 3 words. We want them running in a horizontal row, and we want that spacing to be 1 inch. That's just a comfortable work area for me. And it shows you all the things you can change and adjust within these documents when you're working maybe on a different sort of project for a different class, or I've got an idea for making business cards. I need a front and the back. Now you know how to set these things up. It's great. So 5x7, everything's looking good. I'm going to create my document. Tall one. All right, we're going to make a margin. So I'm going to make that smaller box. So I'm going to just draw my box arbitrarily. And I know over here, I just have to make one 1/2 inch smaller. Yeah. You did close it and check your sizes. You probably had pixels or points and not inches. That's it. Somebody came out and their boxes were like really small. So 5x7. And then I'm going to hit 6.5. The fill is nothing. The stroke is magenta. And I just go on this swatch tile. And if you go over, they have this first section is like setup colors, red, yellow, green, blue, purple, magenta, which is 100%. Make sure it's a 1 point. Got that good. We're going to make sure it's centered, that align. Center it and center it. This works with objects. I'll show you some of that shortly. I use align and distribute objects. There's hidden things. It's to make your life so much better. All right. So we centered everything up. I'm going to copy. As you can see, it shows up at the very bottom there. And I'm going to edit. And because my fingers cannot do 4 key commands at once, I'm going to hit paste on all artboards. Then I'm going to go up to the hamburger menu with my margin selected and go down to template. That's set. I'm going to turn on my ruler and I'm going to pull my guides. I'm going to unlock it. I know my order is getting a little bit out of place, but we've been doing this. This is our 5th time. This is actually our 10th, 8th, 10th, because we do it on the other assignments as well. There we go. We got that all set up. We put in our crop marks. So if these, if you want to print these for some sort of exposition of your work, the crop marks will be there. Somebody says, we want to see what you did when you first learned Illustrator for your expose on graphic design. You're like, oh, I have them. And it has all the crop marks in them. So we do it to the size of the artboard, 5x7. And then no fill, right? No stroke. Then I go to this FX, just like the TV channel. Put on some crop marks. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go to edit, paste on all artboards. I have the document set. I'm going to create one more layer, bring it down to the bottom. It's type. I haven't even looked at our words for today. Ooh, together, inflate, and mirror. Let's do mirror. I'll do mirror. I'm only going to do one. And then it is with a sans serif. Oh, man, did I do clown wrong? I did the wrong font. Oh, I got a lower grade. Probably got a B on that one. Well, good thing I didn't turn it in yet. I have to change the font. Make sure you're checking which kind of font to use. This is just so you're learning. I want you learning font types. I'm only dealing with 2. You're not in typography yet, but you should know a sans serif and a serif. Sans serif is the one without the little hoop-de-doos, Helvetica Arial. I'll do mirror because I can show you a cool trick. M-I-R-R-O-R. I'm just going to do it all caps. You know what? I always do all caps. I'm going to do not all caps. Nuts to that. Let's try something new. This is the point when you're like, oh, we do the same thing. This is where you start I call it beating me at my own game. You do kind of the same thing. Then you start finding those areas like, what can I do that's so different, but it's still within the guidelines? Because I want to beat him at its own game. You're like, and that's good. Like, that's the way I used to think. Like, how far can I push it, but still be within the guidelines? So I'm going to just do Arial. I want Arial. I know what I want. Arial black.
Wait, so when you say sans serif, that's not the font?
That's the type of font. There is not a font called sans serif. It is like a font without. Sans means without.
Okay.
So I'll show you. I'm gonna pick that. So this is sans serif.
How do you put that on?
Oh, you just have to look at them. So what you can do, if it's easier up at the top, it has these little previews. This is a serif font. It's got those little wingy dingies.
Okay. So without that is sans serif?
Yeah, without. Sans is French for without.
Okay.
So just know you learned a foreign language in this class. You get extra credit for that. Sans serif, it's French without, and then serif is just what it's called. So that is a serif, these little whoop-de-doos. There's a little PDF lecture in the very first session, which is going to go away, that talks about that. But no, thank you for asking. The more you know, and it's all new to us too. So I typed this out. You know, there we are. Oh my God, now I have like 4 ideas for this. I'm going to do the simplest. Then I'm going to make sure I go to type, create outlines, object, ungroup. And that just allows me to now take my letters and do what I want. So I'm going to undo. I'm going to take these 3 letters and I have these 3 letters. So I can regroup letters now. So if I like go and grab these 3 letters and go to object and group, now these 3 letters will always move together and these still don't. So if I want to group certain letters together, you can, to help it make your design easier. Then you're not always trying to redo things, like get every letter exactly the same place. I want them broken up in 2. So I ungrouped all. Then I selected the first 3 letters, object, group. I selected the last 3 letters, object, group. And now these move in 2 little groups. That's why we call it grouping. Now here's the one. Everybody's going to do it. There's more than one way to do it. On the toolbar, you'll see this little circle. This is rotate. All right. If I hold that down, there's something called the reflect tool. Oh, I'm going to click on that. Now, if I double click on it, you can see my ROR are reflected in one direction. I can change which way I want to have it reflect. So I use this a lot, actually. It's very convenient to like flip something. Like they call it mirroring or reflect. I call it flipping. So, you know, like you flip it, but it is like a mirror. So there you are. And it reflected those. And so it's now reflecting that. You can go further. So as we develop our skills, and I want you to push certain things, like I said, I came up with like 3 ideas. Here's another one. Don't be shy. You can do something like this to change the whole idea of this. Is you can put in a background as long as it's black. Which means if you wanted, you can make a box. We all know how to make a box. It's black. I made a new layer for it. Then when I select my type, if I'm so inclined, I know how to change a color. Oh, you can do colors too. So what do colors look like on a black background? And then I was talking to like, I'm going to ungroup all this. Object. Ungroup. And then, I don't know why I ungrouped it. I'm doing too many. I'm getting too excited with just this one word. So then I doubled that up. And then I'm going to go to my reflect tool. What tool? Reflect. If you always have a problem, go to help, type in what you hear, and it kind of shows you where to go. Isn't that creepy? It just like, hey, where's the reflect? Wonk. So it like tells you exactly, you can go to transform and reflect, or it's actually right here. I'm going to reflect that, but I want it the other way. And then what if I, instead of pure white, pick the really dark gray? And then I had it touching. Ooh. And I'm really not doing anything complicated. I'm just moving letters and changing colors. So I want you to like, you know, develop like what are the minimal things that you can do that really will make a difference. And play around and have fun. I mean, this is, of course is a simple one. I did 2 types of mirroring, but see if you like come up if your mind has a different way to do it. You know, like what if you reflected it in a different way, or you know, vertical, or you know, whatever. And play around, have some fun, see how things match. Turn letters. I don't know what my head was thinking. Looked up and I was like, what is something like, you know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking, but this is that idea of like, start it, kind of get somewhere, and then put it away. And then open it back up and be like, oh, you know what I'm going to try this. And then you can try it and it doesn't hurt. Here's the other thing. Don't be afraid to just be like, I'm starting over, and delete. I know you're going to be like, oh, but I spent so much time on it. Did you really spend a lot of time on it? I would highly suggest once when you're working on a project and you look at it and he's like, it's going to take me an hour. It says it's going to take me an hour to complete. Start a timer and actually spend an hour on it. And you'll be like, oh, I didn't really spend an hour on it, did I? That's 20 minutes per design. See what you could really do if you actually set that timer and been like, I'm going to spend 20 minutes on one, 20 minutes on the other, and 20 minutes on the other. And you were like, oh, I don't need that much time. So you're going to work faster. You're going to know what to do. But maybe if you do, maybe you work on it for half an hour, close it, open it another day, work on it for another half an hour, and you'll start to see these things happening that you're like, oh, now that I see it again. And that's also why I want you to look at other people's work. When you do those peer reviews, you get to start to see other, sorry, I moved this. I was like, you guys can see this. I'm on 2 screens. The peer reviews are there for you to look at other people's work and see what they're exploring. You know, that's research. And the best research is your peers. You can be like, oh my God, I never really thought about it. Look at what they did. You know, there's the smaller class, there's 10 of us. But if you were to look at everybody's work, that's 30 different examples that you get to look at. And you get to start to see like, oh, this person's doing this, that person's doing that. So start to play around, have some fun. You can change some of this. You know, like you can use half, like, oh, there's an idea right here. I'm stealing. Everybody's like, oh, I was going to do that. You can still do it. You know, like, it's as simple as this. You could even keep it. No, I want to do, oh, this is, what is it? What's the show? No, Stranger Things. There's the underside. You know, like, what are the underside? What do they call it? The flip side? I can't remember. I stopped watching that show. It got too long. You know, like they have, when you go to the underside, or so like that would be normal. But when they flip the house, you know, you could undo this. Kind of, you know, like do something weird. Yeah, play around, you know, think about that stuff. Yeah, I was thinking Stranger Things. So, and that's why I'm only having you work with words and letters, and it gives you that area to explore without having too many things going on. So yeah, have some fun with this. I mean, these are 3 really easy words: together, inflate, and mirror. So, but think of like, what could you do that you don't think anybody else is gonna do? So that's the other one. Your first idea won't be the best. So try for the third idea. Give yourself some time to play. You can also, you know, do all this crap off the side. I'm going to do all my playing over here and then move it over here and then arrange it. So you can use off the artboard for anything you want can happen all over here. Nobody sees it. And everything I've done to this mirror, you have learned. I've only been holding down shift, sizing, and you just learned how to do the reflect tool.
Where's the mirror button? Which one is it?
It's underneath rotate. It probably shows as rotate. And if you click and hold down, there's more tools. So in your toolbar, if there's a little arrow,
Yeah, I got it.
there's more hidden. It's just like the shape tool. There's more hidden there. And then, you know, don't forget that what I taught you the last time with that shape builder, that you can start doing like weird stuff. Like if I have 2 shapes, I'll zoom in, don't worry. If I have 2 shapes and I use that mysterious shape builder, I can either combine them or I can delete parts out. Oops.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
when you do the this move, what you just showed us downstairs on that computer, don't you have to when you highlight both objects, I mean the shapes or whatever, don't you hold shift?
When using the shape builder or when?
No, when you highlight the 2 shapes together.
No, you don't have to hold down shift. That's a great question. I get what you're getting at. All right, so this was the question. I'm going to separate out mirror. I get it. There's 2 ways. I know what you mean. All right, so I have these words. I'm going to go to type, create outlines, object, ungroup. All right. Now I have these letters. When I grab letters, I click and I drag through them and it'll grab them all. Or if you click one at a time and hold down shift, you can grab certain letters from certain areas. And that's another way to do it. I sometimes, and I do this pull through, like I click and drag. And so I'll just be a little bit sloppy about it. And you see them highlight as you do it. And then I can move those. But yeah, if you hold down shift, you can start being like, I want to move just this R and this I. If you hold down shift and select that and that, they'll both select and you can move those. That's a great question. Yeah, that's this weird way. So using shift to isolate and move like, oh, I want that, but that's so far away. Just hold down shift and then click on it again and you can move it. So yeah, play around. That's what these are about. Simple.
I'm blind, but I can't find that mirror tool.
Let me look.
I'm looking all over. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Double click on it.
Mhm. Got it.
So there you go. All right, let's move on to the next one. What we got? What is our novel today? Oh, Frankenstein. Cool. Oh, use a new. I wonder if they'll have the image of the Netflix one. All right, let's build it. Let's build it real quick. New file. I'll get it up. I'll start to do it a little bit. Everybody's doing really great. I only have like 1 or 2 comments that I've been seeing. And it's just about giving enough space. And then and I'll show again how to you can fill shapes, or have your text be in a different shape now. That's our new one. So 4x7. Oh, I don't have to change much. 4x7. I'm gonna go. I can keep that at 3 because I'm still gonna go down to the proper area. Bleed is 0.25. I'm gonna go to more settings because I want to make sure that it is horizontal. The spacing is 1 inch, and then I can create my document. Oh, really tall and skinny. So the reason I do this as well is that if I always gave you the exact same format, you'd just get stuck in a rut. So I purposely changed the size of the artboards. One, it gets you to pay attention, and you're like, okay, I got to do this, do this. You never know what's being thrown at you. Being crazy. And then it gets you to think in different ways. Like, how can I eloquently fill this really tall space? Well, this is normal. This is a banner ad. Sometimes I got to fit an entire ad into a shape like this. And you're like, oh my God, I can barely fit a word. Like, it's got to be big. I fit one word across, and it's a banner ad. Like, they get crazy. Banner ads are even skinnier, about half this size, and then you don't think that somebody's got to then, you see them online, you get pissed because it's a banner ad popping up everywhere. But start to think like, oh, they had to fit all that information into that weird area. Well, guess what? That's going to be your job, fitting all that weird stuff into that area. So that's the other reason. Gets you to think differently. Typed in margin on my layer. Gonna create the box. It is 3.5. Oops. And by 6.5. Okay. I'm going to have no fill. The stroke is going to be magenta right there. 1 point. I'm gonna make sure it's centered and centered.
You got 2 points up there.
Oh my gosh, you got eagle eyes back there. Thank you. Total eagle eyes. What? You could read that? Oh, I have my wrong glasses for distance reading. I got my computer glasses on. I can only see about 3 feet in front of me, but really clearly. So then I centered it, and then what do? We copy. We go to edit, paste on all artboards. Beautifully sets us up. We can turn on our ruler. We can pull our guides. They'll snap into place.
How do you turn the ruler again?
Command R. Or you go up to view, rulers, turn on rulers. Yeah. I always say that because I'm trying to, you learn those key commands. Woo, life goes quick. You just start designing and somebody else is still trying to turn on their rulers. You like, learn the key commands. All right, so that's all set up. Let's do our crop marks, add our other ones. All right, draw a box. Oh, it came out 4x7, perfect. The fill, it's got that magenta on it. I don't want magenta on it. Boom, boom, boom. It's centered. Effects, crop marks, done. Copy, edit, paste on all artboards. See how quick this becomes? This is the 10th time you've done this.
What am I doing now? It's not showing me where the middle is.
Just discuss them.
Yeah, hold on. 2 questions came. Well, leave it right where that is, and I know why. Go to view, snap, oops, and and you can, it's snap. That should work now.
I'm not clicking anything.
Let me see. Let me drive for 1 second.
Okay.
No, it activated it.
Oh, okay. Oh.
There. It's a little like.
I know I didn't.
Oh wait, why are there 2 boxes? Ah, delete that.
I just want to ask a question, for copy, and it's Command C or Command D?
Copy is Command C.
And then
Paste is Command V.
Okay.
So no, I'm not kidding you. So yes, all right. So the question was, mine snapped in, and I talked about snapping. So under View, you can have these snap to point, and that's what I have turned on. And what that does is when you pull something, it's like a magnet, and it jumps to it. Here's the thing: when we work on our big project today, we're gonna turn that off, so it doesn't work. All right, so let's make our layers. Oh, and then the other question was command keys. Copy is Command or Control C, and then the paste is Control V. The reason why it's C and V is copy is for C, but the key directly next to that, in which we'd use the most, is V. Because if you had to go C and then P on the keyboard is on the other side of the keyboard, and it would be a very hard key command to do. And seeing that most time, if you're going to copy something, you're going to paste it, those three keys are grouped very close together to each other. And that is why. It's an ergonomic design thing that whoever invented that was like, oh, let's just put them next to each other. Thank you, sir, who's and what's it, when you created that for the computer. All right, body copy is one layer. Title author is another layer. And image is another layer. And if you want to be crazy, as I mentioned last time, you can add a background. What?
Background.
Yep. If you're so inclined, you can start adding backgrounds. I'm just going to work with the text because we're having so much fun, but I have to teach you how to do something else today. I just want to show you the body copy part. We know the title area text, or point text. Body copy should be cancel, where you pull and draw a box and then paste it in. The beginning sentence from Frankenstein. Now we know with the area is that it allows us to shift it, make it skinnier, and our text moves, it doesn't distort. And that's why we use this area. But then say, like, you know, if I have an arbitrary image, as I don't want to go and get an image and waste that time right now because I want to get to the bigger project. And say my book goes here, but I want my text to go around the book.
Right. Yeah.
So I can create two squares. And look at that gap. That gap, as for now, that's the margin. Think about you could stick your finger in there and it won't get pinched. That's how much room you should have between items. You should never have it like jammed up close, touching it. Like I said last time, that's how you get the flu. You're in somebody's face talking like, now I'm getting sick. You want your items to have some space so you can think about and read them. So I drew two rectangles and I selected them. Yeah.
Which, are you working in background or are you working in body copy?
I'm working in background. Now I'm going all willy-nilly here. So don't do as I say, not as I do. Is that what we're supposed to say? Here, I'll get you. There we go. Oh, I got paste remember layers on. Hold on. No, it's not on. All right, there we go. We fixed it for you. Now I'm in body copy. All right, so I have my two squares, which I can turn this into a single square using that magic tool, into which it's the two circles. It's called Shape Builder. And I just draw through, and then it makes it one single shape. Now when I go to my text tool and I go over here and I click once, it starts to fill with text and I can paste. And now my text goes around the corner. And this is good. Don't be nervous about this spacing. I think people get nervous and they're like, it should be like that. No, we never want that touching. No, it should have a good distance. I want to be able to see your text and I want to be able to see the picture. And then you can do stuff with this shape, with this direct select tool that we've been talking about once in a while. The direct select tool allows me to like grab the edge. I can grab one edge. And if I hold down shift, because we always hold down shift, I can grow one edge up to the top and watch what happens in my text. It goes all the way up to the top. And that's just by the direct select allows me to adjust one feature of that box system that I've created. It's a little confusing. The select is everything, right? But if I want to make an adjustment, I use direct select. And that's the one we use when we're creating our flames and we want to adjust our flames. Well, you can grab a whole line and adjust a whole line, or I can do like a corner. Like you can adjust the little points. So everything is like infinitely changeable. But the other question is, should you change it? But you can. Everything is changeable. So start to try some things out. As I said, you can draw a circle. I don't know. Maybe I want some horrible text in a circle. I would. This is one of those do it once in your life and never do it again situations. Like, oh, text in a circle. Oh, what happened? Oh, I hit undo. All right, I put text in a circle. No need to ever put text in a circle again because nobody wants to read text in a circle. But it looks great. No, it doesn't look great. It's hard to read. There's so many like design taboos. Maybe, there's some, it's a logo and there's like 4 letters. What'd you say? Yeah, well, see, that's what can't happen. Yeah. Oh, I can force it, but then it makes it worse. You play with these paragraph settings. So under paragraph here, this is called left align, center align, which we don't do. Nobody use center. We're not writing poems. Just stay away from the center. Just don't get in the habit of ever doing it. We want to because our brain says symmetry is good and I'm just going to leave it at that. Just don't. You know what? Asymmetry is far more interesting and creative. So don't do that. Just do it left, right. And if it's not looking good, then just try something else. There's it forced. But then you get like weird like spaces. Nobody wants to read this. I'm just telling you. Nobody wants to read text in a ball. Do it once, I'll let it pass, and then I'll be like, the second time I see you do it, like, don't ever do that again. So play around, now start exploring. Try different things. And I want you to push it, but then you should, when you're looking at it, you should answer your own questions too. Like, does that look good? Can I read it? Throw it by a friend. Hey, what do you think of this? And they're like, oh, what does it say? And if they say that, then you're like, oh, I got to change it because they can't read it. So have some fun, dig around, play around. You've been doing this, but now start to expand on that creativity. Try a couple different things. And if you screw it up, you delete it and you try it again. Here's the other one. If you're working with something and it's not working, stop doing the same thing, delete everything, and then just try it again with something new. Because there's some things that happen, these are computers, that it will remember some past things that if you're like working on it, a shape may remember some weird thing that you mistakenly clicked on, and then it sticks to it. The best thing is just like, oh, let's just start over and redo it. Here's the other one I joke about. if you're working and the cat jumps up on your keyboard, it'll mess everything up. Because there's keys that cat activated that you have no idea what now was turned on and turned off. The big one is this. And you'll like, what happened? I was working, Joel, and everything on the screen disappeared. And I was like, you know what happened? Is you put a book down and it hit tab. If you hit the tab key, all your menus disappear. Happens all the time. And then you don't know what to do. And then you write me and I'm like, open it and hit tab. And everything comes back. But it's something like you just hit. And the cat hits the keyboard and everything changes. You're like, oh, crud. Just close it, open it again, or try to see if you can tell what the cat's paw is on. So have some fun. All right. Speaking of fun, Design Mission 4. We are going to emulate a world famous illustrator, Bernard Richter, right? Yeah. He created advertisement. He kind of invented this whole idea of less is more, and he got very famous. He had a poster, and it's 2 matches. I'm going to show it to you. And it won a let me find. So, matchbook. No. Images. This piece right here. Super simple. This one, sorry. Doesn't make it look better. This piece, it is the company name in 2 matches. Yeah, no, they're matches. This is French. This is, you know, the 1800s, and everybody smoked, and it was a great time. But it was an advertisement for matches. This this started out, the origin is there was like a competition, and he had an illustration, and there was a book, and there was like all this stuff on there, and he had it, and he slowly started to paint stuff out to the point of all that he had left was the name of the company in 2 matches. And he turned it in. And it was like a competition. And the company had, you know, all the best French, you know, designers of the time were going to judge the competition. And they told them they wouldn't accept it. And before they got too far, the president of the company saw it and said, no, that one wins. And it became like his style. It was this new idea of simplicity in design. You don't need smoke and the flame. It's like he just did it. What are we advertising? Matches. I'm going to show you some matches and who to buy them from. Simple, clean, and clear. And it like blew everybody's mind. It was like a transition in history with this piece. And so he became very known for that. So what we're going to do is do his shoe advertisement for Stiller. And we're going to use this amazing tool. So I downloaded it. I'm going to open it. You're going to get the same that we have, that I always do, beautifully laid out. I think it is. Whatever. All your things are there. You can see it in this way. Look how simple this is. And it's just colors. And what you're going to do is paint. You are going to be using what is called the blob brush. Now, a bunch of you are going to jump in and be like, brush tool. But you're missing the word blob, which is key in making this what you want. Why is that? Well, the blob brush acts differently than the normal brush. And I'm going to go to the text. I'm just going to work on the text, the Stiller. And I'm activating that font or that layer, and I'm going to zoom in. And it's not a font. You're going to draw this. And I'm going to zoom in. and I'm going to hold down my brush. This is the brush. I'm going to hold it down. And you want this blob brush tool. That's the tool to use. Shift B. B is brush. Shift B is a blob, a brush. The reason is when you click and start to do something, it makes a giant blob, but it's a shape. If you use the other brush, it creates a line, and it's horrible. And the other cool part is when I have a certain color, and it's the same color, and I blob next to it, they become one. So you can take breaks, you can lift up, you can stop, you can go. For the people that are fortunate to be here with the beautiful drawing screen next to you, you can do this as well. Is if you double click on that blob, double click, it's going to open up this item. You can do size, and it's going to start and it's going to say fixed. But you can go to pressure, and then there's this variation, and I just want you to crank it. And what does that do? Well, when I'm here at school and I start to draw, oh, I got to set my screen right. If your screen's wrong, I'd come show you work area. It always flips on me now. All right. The screens are pressure sensitive. So the harder you press, the bigger the blob. It is so cool. It is a game changer if you can draw and if you can draw. It's a game changer. And that's why we have them here. And here,
Which one, Mr. Scott, the one that's big or the one that's like underneath the keyboard?
the one that the low one that has a screen on it.
Okay.
So I can draw really light, and then if I press harder, it gets bigger. If I press lighter, it gets lighter. Press harder, it gets bigger. And so it's called pressure sensitive.
That look good if you can do calligraphy.
Pardon?
That'll look good if you can do like calligraphy.
Yeah. The other thing I want you to do then is there's double click on, and this is for everybody, okay? Even if you're not here, you don't want to work at school, you don't want to try out the best of the best hardware for graphic designers. So we have the pressure sensitive. I also want you to look at fidelity, and you can have accurate to smooth. And how did I get this again? I'm on blob brush. I'm going to double click. If I have it on accurate and I hit OK, and I start to draw, like, and I have my coffee, and I'm all jittery, it keeps all that. But if I double click on this and I click it all the way to smooth, and I hit OK, and I draw, and I'm jittery, it takes that and it starts to adjust it and make it better. So this is just to get you started. You really only need to use two tools for this project, and that will be the blob brush and the erase. The eraser works generally the same. So if I have the blob brush, and I'm actually should be using the correct color, and you do it just like we would, all right? And you can use the space bar and everything. I want to make sure that my brush has blue in it, and I got the stiller. And if you wanted to, you could turn that to just this, so it looks like you're coloring a coloring book, if that helps you. And this is, then you go to the blob brush, and then I just go here, and I'm just going to start to fill it in. And you can let go and breathe. And then you can just fill it in just like you're a kid again. Get it close. And just start to play around. And then like, oops, I went too far. Then go to the erase and remove it. And then go back to the blob brush and put it back in. There we go. You know, like, so you can go back and forth. And then you can paint, and then, you know, like big stroke, and then go here. Now, and this is all, you know, being all curvy, and you know what makes that good? You can do it with a mouse. little bit harder, but if you came into school and used these screens, and if you have a hard time with the pressure sensitivity, like, and getting used to that, the harder you push, you can turn that off.
How do you pick the color again?
Eyedropper tool.
Yeah.
And just I for eyedropper,
Yeah.
and then you click on it. So I'll switch to red. I is eyedropper. Click on the red. Go back over, and now when I paint with the blob brush, it'll be red. And then, like I said, these don't combine. But if I were to take the blob brush, or if I, go back to the eyedropper, this should work. Click back on the blue. Oh, I changed that color. I didn't want to change it. It was selected. Go back to the blue. This is just like all the other ones. Instead of changing the color of a shape, you're just changing a color of a organic shape. And I go back to that blob brush and I start painting the blue again. It's going to add it to the blue. So it becomes one giant. And then I don't like that. Oh, and go to the eraser. The eraser is like, I don't know why the eraser is 2 away. You can change the order of these. If I click and hold, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I don't always change them. And sometimes like, why do they put it so far away from the one that you use? The eraser tool just erases. And then if you're going, and I go back to the blob brush, and then Joel's got these stupid straight lines in here. Thought we weren't going to do any straight lines. How do we make something go straight? Shift. That was the worst thing I could have ever said. Sorry. If I hold down shift, I put down shift first. See, shift is up on the little bottom of my screen there. And then I draw straight. Oh, come on. There. It constrains it. And it makes a straight line. I always have a hard time. Like, sometimes it doesn't always want to work. Don't rely on it. I don't know why it's so finicky. Sometimes it works great. Sometimes it doesn't work great. And I don't know if that's the software. So play around holding down shift. But this is all about just filling in your coloring book. And be neat about it. I'm being really sloppy, but I want to show you can be sloppy. And then you can go and you can erase stuff. And then what do I say about everything? If I zoom back out, you're like, "Bleh." Don't just select it all, hit delete, start again. And this is what you're going to do. And it's just, and then you can change, you got to change the brush size. All right. You're going to have some fine areas. Like, I got to get in real tight with these little marks. How do I do that? The brackets key. I'm going to draw the brackets so everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say brackets. On your keyboard, the brackets are this.
Oh, okay.
All right, they're by the P. So I'll zoom in so you can see my brush real big. See that circle for the brush? If I hit one bracket, it's growing. That means my brush is getting bigger. And when I draw, it'll draw a big circle. And then if I make it and I go down, I can go all the way down. So no matter what, I can just have it be this thin. Look at it. Look, see, this is some of that stuff. If you can draw and you use the drawing screens, you can really do some, you can learn to do some really beautiful work. So to change the size, brackets, the bracket keys. How do I change the size of my bracket? Just while you're working, and then you click it a bunch of times and you make it thick. And now I want to thin, and that, you know what that works? That works with the eraser as well. So then I can do like right the middle. I was able to erase out of the middle of that. Oh, I don't want that. So I switch back to the blob brush and I fill it back in. So it's 2 tools and 2 keys. The blob brush, the eraser, and the brackets. And then even you can then move stuff around just like you normally would. Let me do this E. It's only got to be a partial E because it goes underneath, so you can see that. So I'm on my blob brush. I know I got blue loaded. Here's the weird part. It'll show it as the stroke. I don't know that it's like an error in the system. Just if it's drawing correctly, leave it. I have no idea, but it will work if it's the fill or the stroke. I wish Illustrator would fix that. I don't know why they don't. So I'm just gonna, just draw. I'm gonna take my time. I got some music on. I got Stranger Things in the background. I'm not really watching it. I'm just listening to it. I do a lot of work while watching TV. I don't watch it. I just listen. You can only listen to so much music. And then I like stories.
Me too.
So here's a clip. Here's for people who do that, because I heard of Me Too. In a lot of like Netflix, like all of them, whatever you watch movies on, go to the audio settings and click on audio description. Then you get somebody who pops up and starts telling you what's going on, and you never have to look up. They're like, Charles walked into the room, and then you hear Charles talk, and you're like, oh, this is great. And then you know the names of characters, because I always forget names of characters, and so turn on audio description when you're doing that, and then it just becomes, your TV becomes an audio book. It doesn't work with all of them, but it's kind of more standardized now. But boy, oh boy, do I use that. There. So I made my E, and my E is movable. It's a shape. It's its own thing. Here's the other one. Sometimes it does this, and you're like, oh, what is that? Why is it like that? Yeah, one click to fix, right? Because I like things to be really neat. One click to fix. Oh, it's all moving. It's all one, but I don't like that it's showing that I went, drew and then drew again on top of it. Right here under Pathfinder, under Properties, down to Pathfinder. Right here. I'm going to click that first one. It just grouped them all together. So what it was doing is sometimes it'll be like, oh, you're drawing on the top, and it's still making the same shape, but it's separating your ideas. And then so you just click on that, boom, it just becomes one. And then you can be like, I don't know why you'd move it actually on this one. I don't know. I'm just showing you what you can do.
I don't see that on mine.
Pathfinder doesn't come up?
No, all this on the bottom that you have right there?
What tool are you on?
Brush.
Blob brush. Oh, draw something. Something has to be activated. Oh, I'll show it. Oh, that's weird. No, okay. Get this over on one side. Fix that.
I know, because when I move
There.
the thing.
Okay, so there's a
Oh,
line.
you selected it.
Then I'm on blob brush. Oh. I don't know why you're not. Window. There you go. Oh, let's do this. Oh, you know why? You need to have two things selected. So if I blobby brush and I blobby brush, and I select the two, you need to be overlapping. If I select the two, then it shows up. All right.
Thank you.
No, that was a great question. So everybody, here was the question. So the student was like, had, this and had it selected, and they're like, what you just showed didn't show up. Well, this properties panel knows what's going on. And so because two separate items weren't selected, it wasn't offering the merging. Well, mine just auto merged right there. Let's do another one. And I'll put that on top of there. Now it shows up. But if I only have one item showed up, there's no reason to merge it because it's one item. You need 2 items in order to merge 2 items. Oh, that makes sense. What else is there about this? Brackets for sizing. Blob brush, not the regular brush. Don't even touch it. Just blob brush only. Erase tool. Phew. Eraser, it's so amazing. Just right through it. And then you can even like that. And if I go to object, ungroup, I can take the piece out. Isn't that cool? Like there's so many like weird things to do. And this is like that free form, because I know all of you love drawing thousands of squares. That this is your one where like, let's say do something normal. This is as normal as it gets. So yeah, all the information. Let's say run through it. I don't always run through these. Arrange, arrange if you have something in the front and the back, but I have you separated out in layers, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. The signature, the shoe, the text, the background. Oh, you might have to worry about with the shoe. The shoe is like 3 colors. There's a cream, there's a red. The inside of the shoe is red. There's a little bit of cream, and then there's a little bit of showing through in the back. Blob brush, the color swatches, we know that. Copy and paste. Oh, there we go. Control C, Control V. It shows it for PC and Mac. Direct select. We're starting to learn more about how to use that direct select tool. I don't think I use it much in this. I wouldn't use direct select in here because when you get organic shapes, direct select kind of is a mess. We can duplicate. What do you mean duplicate? Well, you draw one L. Why draw the other one? Just duplicate it, right? Here, I'll do it. Spend so much time. No, I'm on blob brush. I want to be on text. And then I just like, just say I did this beautifully. Don't. And I did it perfect, and I filled in the lines. Stay within the lines. Do you see how it smoothed everything? It's like there's a little delay. And you just copy and paste that. And I got my second L. Why do it again? Here's the direct select. This is maybe why it would work. What's an I? It's a short L. Can I do it? It might not work because of you just grab part of it. I don't know if I'd do that. It gets a little wonky depending on how many nodes and anchor points are set in these. If it's a perfect straight line, that works a lot easier. It gets a little bit weird when you start squishing stuff like that. So make sure, just some other points.
Are we allowed to do that, or
you can give it a shot? I want you to do all the sorts of experimentation. Okay. Just as long as the end product looks like the end product. Duplicate, distribute, eyedropper tool. Remember that full screen? I want to go back to the full. I want to see what everything looks like. You hit Command 0. So all these cheat codes are over here for you. Group, hand tool. What other things you could do? Mind margin. Some of you rotate the canvas. I do this at home. It's Shift H. You can rotate it. I do this with the drawing screen to help, so I'm not taking the entire drawing screen and turning it myself. If you draw on a piece of paper, you turn your piece of paper. Well, Shift H will turn this, and you quickly do this, and then you go Shift B, and you go back to the blob brush, and you can make your S a little bit easier, and you go Shift H, and then you circle it back around. And the way to get it back, you're like, now it's stuck. Can you hold Shift? You can hold Shift and do it. And then it'll zero out. So if I hold Shift, it constrains it to 15s, and you just go back to 0. That's a great one too. So try that rotate canvas, scale, Shift down. Any other questions before you start your first non-linear square project? Yes.
It's not about this assignment. It's about the Baja one.
I will.
The Bauhaus.
I'll check on you in 1 minute.
Okay.
All right. All right, cool. You guys know how to get a hold of me. Have some fun. Just know it's painting. If it's not working, delete it, start again, take your time. It takes a little bit of getting used to, like all of this does. If you've never done it before, it takes some getting used to. But yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Give yourself some time. Know that there's always the easy point. Just put in that background color and be like, oh, at least I got one layer done. And know that like there's very little here. The gold, you know, like it's really just a couple things. Don't forget about the signature. That's it. All right. Again, let me know if you have questions, comments, concerns. This room is open today until 4. It's open all day tomorrow from 8:30 until 4. Tomorrow is Thursday already. And then there are other systems to use in the library. So, all right. Take care. Bye-bye.